And I will bring up some more things in a couple of months.
What was that in regards to?
It was about a file cabinet.
Okay.
It's all the way down. And there is also something here, and it said, there is a sentence here, and what I didn't say, why didn't you call the police? I say, he didn't report it, I reported it.
To the appropriate authorities, as I remember.
Yeah, she reported to the sheriff's office and someone else. I didn't say someone else. Yeah.
You said appropriate authorities.
Yes, and that is not.
So the question is then the prices or the figures on the front page?
Yeah.
Do you know those to be accurate?
Well, that is what I have. I will ask Sandy. I think it is the right numbers, and it is the right number because it increases 5,250. If it is not, I can make later amendment. I think.
Okay.
Anyone have any corrections?
Well, I have a lot of corrections, but I don't know what I'm correcting now because I didn't have that same one that you had. There are my corrections.
You got your corrections on it? Okay. You want to table those until next week?
Let me see. So this is 16. Okay.
Are those minor corrections?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
Grammatical corrections.
Okay.
Slightly.
The only thing is those figures. If you check on
Yeah,
those,
I'm
then we
going to
can
double check.
then we can pass those minutes.
And yeah, that is minor.
Now let's get those done next week so we can get caught up here.
Okay, I will table the minutes of February 22nd, 2012.
Okay, you got any others?
No, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Bob, you're here. Why don't you come up and we're way early, but that's all right. So go back to work. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here this morning because we've come to the discovery that we have some power strips that we use for bedside alarms at the nursing home. As it turns out, these power strips that we use are non-compliant. They're a violation of NFPA 70 and NFPA 99. And I want to upgrade those to compliant power strips, hospital grade. The ones that we have now are about $25 a piece. The ones that I'm proposing are $94 a piece. We have 16 residents that use bedside alarms, and I'm requesting to purchase 20 power strips at a cost of $94 each for a total of $1,880. I believe that with working through Granger, I can get this price lower. If we buy quantities of items, they're usually very willing to work with us and get the price lower, but this would be a maximum price. This would bring us into compliancy for these bedside alarms.
Just a point of information.
Yeah.
You said that there are 16?
We have 16 residents
What?
that use those.
What specific, I don't have to know specifically, but obviously
this is something that is used only by for certain people for certain illnesses
well,
that they have?
residents that are fall risks.
Okay. If you put this in for these residents,
Mm-hmm.
and certainly we need it,
Mm-hmm.
what about at some future time someone else needs it?
Well, we have 16 that use them. I'm asking for 20. So I have
So
four.
he's got four extra.
So I have 4 extras.
Okay.
The reason I'm asking for that amount now is because I'm asking for these initial 20 to come out of capital expenditure, leftover building construction funds, because I think honestly, I think it's an expense that I didn't anticipate when we moved over to the new building. Any future need, I would pull it out of my budget. It's just these initial 20 that I want to put on that expenditure line.
Any further questions?
And where again are you going to take it out?
These initial 20 I want to take out of the building construction funds. Any future ones that I would need, after I use up these 20, if we need more, I'll take out of my own budget.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I move to allow for the purchase of these 20 hospital-grade power strips, $94 each.
And not to exceed $1,880.
Yes.
Asher, you want to second it?
Yeah.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in support of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And so voted.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any further questions for me while I'm here?
Yeah, could you get in touch with visiting nurses to see if they could use any of those beds? I don't know. Do you know where they're located? Somebody over
I can
there at the
find
nursing
them.
home does.
I can find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if they know of
Actually, I think
people in
they're
the
in-
community that could use
I think they're in
the
Comeau.
old nursing home beds. And any idea how many we have left?
Well, we had 103 beds total. I sold maybe half a dozen of them, so we probably
Okay.
still have.
Fairly good condition?
Some of them work, some of them don't, and it's hit or miss. They're old.
Yeah, yeah. But still usable, I suppose, right?
Yes.
Is there anything else, any wheelchairs or any
No, all the
walkers or any of
wheelchairs
those?
and walkers we save.
You saved all of them?
Yeah, we save all of those.
Okay.
You know, sometimes, yeah, I can see why you would want visiting nurse, yeah, because sometimes people who stay at home may be in need of
Mhm.
Yeah.
this kind of a bed,
Yeah.
or just an extra
The
one.
only problem with these pump-up beds is, like I said, some of them work, some of them don't.
Yeah.
But because they're pump-up, you get a jouncing every time that they go up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that's difficult for some
Yeah.
people, some residents.
And they need all new mattresses.
Yeah, they won't come with mattresses.
Yeah.
I see.
Is there anything else over there? Do you have a list yet of, well, maybe Rob does, of everything that's in the kitchen?
There's not
Rob,
much
do you
left
have
in the
that?
kitchen. I've already talked to Jason,
Yeah.
and he wants the convection oven and possibly one of the hoods.
Okay.
But the cooktop that we have, the range,
Yeah.
that's available for sale, as well as a cooler, some stainless steel sinks, that type of thing. And this miscellaneous equipment that Rob has in the back
this
room.
machine, we have a list of it. I need to get more specific and write exactly, what the dimensions are of the tables and the height, et cetera.
And pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I know you've submitted 2 lists of things that are left. Okay.
As soon as we get that list specified, then I think the best way to dispose of that is through auction.
You want to talk about your visit over to?
Yes, I visited Pete's in Center Conway, and I have discussed this with Rob. He needs, as I said to Rob just now, he needs pictures of whatever it is,
Mhm.
because he doesn't have time to come down and look at them himself. He needs a list with corroborating pictures.
Now, he's a dealer, so this
Yes.
would be on consignment, correct?
know about that. Do you have any, do you know how?
He's a dealer, so he would probably give us a price on equipment that he thinks he could resell.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. You think it would be better to go the auction?
Well, when you go to auction, you're taking a crapshoot of whether people are interested. If you've only got 1 or 2 people that are interested and they bid on it, you may not get as much money for it.
Yeah.
But if you get a lot of people, that
Yeah.
your chances of getting more money for them are better at an auction. But if on consignment, then you've got a fixed price that you know that you can get. So you're rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Either way, I think.
The list, Rob, that I saw, you had put the condition of the equipment. Most of that was in good condition. And some of that was purchased 2003, so it's not that old, so it should be worth something.
Correct.
Okay, I guess maybe what we ought to do is see if Pete's, is it?
Yeah, Pete's.
On the East Conway Road, would come in and give us a proposal as to what he would give us for those items.
At least that would give us a baseline, and that would be dealing with a county, business. So certainly give us a good idea what the value is.
All right, look, I think what we ought to do is that when we get that whole list completed, bring it in next week,
Okay.
and then we'll decide. We got to put it out for bid somehow. At least put it in the paper that this equipment is available, and to see somebody, maybe you, Rob, if they want to come in and look at it. So we'll put it out as a bid, give them a rough idea as to what is there, and then open it up for them to come in and look at it and give us a proposal. I think we ought to go for the bids versus the auction. Do you feel differently?
No, I think that's probably the best route.
Do you know of any other restaurant equipment dealers?
I did contact one in Manchester, and they were not interested.
Not interested at all. Okay. Okay. I would suggest that those beds in any of the scrap metal be, and probably can use inmates to do it, is to collect them and get them all in one place. Maybe they are already in one place now, I don't know.
No, they're scattered throughout the bedrooms.
Okay. Then I think they could be,
There is no one central place that I could put that many beds.
okay. Well, let's see, after you talk with the visiting nurses, then we'll decide to scrap them or whatever, and then we can take them right from the nursing home to the dealer, okay? Any other things in that nursing home that we need to dispense with?
There's a few chairs, vinyl cover chairs. There's probably a dozen, 15 vinyl cover chairs. There's a refrigerator. There are 2 half-size freezers.
Freezers?
Freezers. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the cubic footage, but I call them half-size freezers
Yeah.
because they're only about as tall as this table. Some end tables that were in the resident rooms. They're not in great shape, but
Yeah.
they're still usable.
All right, we need to get a plan together on how to get rid of all that stuff that's over there.
Yeah, we got rid of a lot when we had that yard sale,
Yeah,
but we can certainly have another one.
okay,
Yeah, spring yard sales are coming up.
That's right.
yeah.
So there's a few window air conditioners that are available too.
What about what's in those trailers? You got a lot of air conditioners still in those trailers?
No,
No?
those all came out and were installed last summer. And when we took them out of the windows in the
Yeah.
fall, they stayed in the building.
Oh, so they're all still in the building?
Well, the ones that we have left, we sold quite a few.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sold
Well, we
quite a few.
still have some air conditioners
Yeah.
left
Yep.
for the windows?
Yeah.
Okay. Then they ought to be mentioned in the yard sale too.
Mhm, absolutely.
All right, let's see what we do between now and next week. Get a hold of visiting nurses and see if they can use any. If they can, just ask for the number, and we'll save out those, and then next week we'll we will
Talk about
put
disposing of
together
the waste.
an ad for the paper and have another yard sale.
Okay,
Okay?
very good.
Anything else you need?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yep. Jason, I guess.
Mr. Brown has a question.
Be consistent, huh? You didn't let the other one ask a question.
Yes, Mr. Brown?
What line is the money for the power strips coming out of?
Coming out of the new nursing home,
Contingency budget?
what do you call that?
Contingency budget?
What?
The contingency?
Contingency money out of the new nursing home.
And you have the authority to spend,
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
you have the authority to spend 2.3 million?
Yes, we did. It was voted on. Yep.
You have to spend the whole amount,
We're not going to.
but you have the authority to.
Yeah. Yep.
That's our job.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, good morning.
Good morning. Population this morning, we have 57 in-house, 1 weekender, 10 transfers, 3 out on electronic monitoring, 10 on pretrial release, total population of 81.
81?
81. Took in 16 inmates last week, 8 were repeaters, and released 13 of them. The repeater charges, 1 came in for an electronic bench warrant, booked 3 times in 2 years. 1 for an arrest warrant, booked 2 times in 9 years. 1 for second degree assault ×2, simple assault ×3, obstructing the report of a crime ×2, and criminal mischief, booked 4 times in 3 years. 1 for theft by unauthorized taking, booked 3 times in 2 years. 1 for burglary, criminal trespass, and second degree assault, booked 4 times in 6 years. 1 for simple assault, booked 13 times in 13 years. 1 for operating after suspension, booked 23 times in 11 years. And 1 for possession of drugs in a motor vehicle, operating after suspension, acts prohibited, and breach of bail, booked 5 times in 2 years. Presently, we have 1 corrections officer in the academy. It's the second week of a 5-week program. Now a month ago from our last commissioner meeting. Have you put any thought into the signs that we talked about at our last meeting in regards to posting the property?
I have no problems with the signs. These are no trespassing signs.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the ones that Cheshire put up on around their facility.
Yeah.
Do you have a question, ma'am?
No, that's okay.
Okay. I'll contact the state prison sign shop, because that's where they got them from.
Yeah.
I have drafted a letter in regards to the policy manual for you to review and sign. I'd like to put these into effect on April 1st, and that would give us the time to bring the staff up to speed on the new policy manual. I haven't also, part of that memorandum, I've enclosed the letter that we received from the attorneys that reviewed it. So I'd just like for you guys to sign it so we can actually put those into effect. And then with that, we're actually in the process of redoing both the employee manual and the inmate handbook. So those 2 are the next items on the agenda for revision.
Do we have any kind of a procedural manual or booklet for visiting hours, for the types of people, whether they can be youth or whether they can be adults, in visiting inmates?
Do we have a procedure manual? It's part of the policy manual. I'd like to put all the visiting rules online under our section, and then we do have posting in the public lobby for when they come in, what's allowed, and that list is actually going to be changing with these new policies going into effect.
I guess what I'm getting at is, I had a call from an individual that their son is in the House of Corrections, and she had a lot of questions as to when she can visit, who can visit, and she said, she just suggested, she said, shouldn't there be some kind of a little booklet or something that could be passed out to one relative of an inmate, saying this is what the policy is, and this is when we have visiting hours, this is who can visit, and so forth.
Mm-hmm. All that material, Commissioner, is in the inmate handbook, so that
So it's up to the inmate
individual
to do
themselves
that?
should be able to brief their support personnel when they come in on the visiting hours, the times, because it's outlined by what block you're in. It depends on what day you have. Specifically, if you're in day room 4, what part of the day room you're in, as to what time your visit is at.
Okay.
So all those are dynamic. So that individual may be in day room 4 at the beginning, but due to some circumstance, you move to a lesser restriction or a more restrictive housing unit, and that would change their visiting time. So it would be on the individual. I know over the course of this past weekend, the on-duty shift supervisor had to turn away 3 visitors because they reported late. And once we process our visitors in, that door locks, and then if you arrive late, the visit, you don't come in. Thank you, ma'am.
So you have to arrive on time to go in.
Correct.
Okay. How long does it take to get a person classified to put into whichever category?
Typically, you're classified within 72 hours.
Okay.
I think I have an understanding who you're talking about, and I believe that individual also spoken to the captain. He had spoken to her yesterday afternoon or yesterday morning.
Okay. I will say that when she called, she said that the officers were very polite, the way they handled the situation. I guess she was just frustrated because she didn't know what the process was, and the person that was in there didn't know or wasn't given the paperwork to alert her to the fact that when she could visit, when she couldn't, type thing. What's your policy on younger people visiting their brother, their sister, or whatever?
We don't do, those are what we call special visits. We don't allow minor children during our regular visiting hours, and that is set up on a different time. Again, depending on where you are in the facility, your special visit day changes. And so that person, anybody under the age of 17 is not allowed in on a normal visiting day. It would have to be scheduled 24 hours prior to the visit, and then that person comes in with a parent or a legal guardian, and they visit the inmate.
Okay. So that's set up, that's a special
visit, correct.
Okay. Another issue or another area of maybe of concern is, are you having problems getting plowed out the parking lot over there in the last storm?
We had a couple issues, but I think that's been worked out.
Been taken care of?
Yeah. I had spoken to Will the following day.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to think it would be rectified, but we'll see. I think it's going to be. I'll put it that way.
Okay. How many inmates do you have that's available to go out, did you say?
I'm not
sure if you said any.
I did not. We have 10 inmates in MSU.
And those 10, are they capable of shoveling? I mean, some of those have a physical deficiency, of no other word to use, that they can't work on the farm?
I have to look and see what we have for medical restrictions. But I would think we have most everybody.
Back injury or can't lift or whatever.
Correct.
I think when you say that there's so many that can be let out on the farm, only those that are physically able
Mhm.
to be let out, you would report on. Okay, conference I went to last week, I picked up a couple of things for you to look at.
Okay.
I didn't read them through thoroughly, I just briefly looked at portions of them. You may have those already, I don't know.
Okay. That's a re-entry piece, that's the, topic of discussion that NIC was out here last month for.
Yep, yep. Have you got a meeting set up to organize a committee?
Mm-hmm. It's scheduled for, I want to say it's April 17th.
I think you're right. Yep, at 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then on the 20th, the State Office of Administrative Courts, I received a letter from Chief Justice Nadu about establishing a drug court program.
Mhm.
So there's a meeting on the 20th at 1 in Concord. That's a Friday, I believe.
And that's in regards to
Drug court.
drug court?
Mm-hmm. That's being posted by the Chief Justice.
How many drug courts are there in the state, do you know?
I know of 3.
3?
3.
Grafton has one?
Grafton,
Stratford?
Stratford, and I believe either Hillsborough or Cheshire has one.
Okay. Okay, anybody got any further
Yeah,
questions?
I just have a question, has nothing related to anything you've spoken about. Do you know if any of the prisoners that we have, in either now or before, or would you know whether they were veterans?
We can get that information off the top of my head. I can
No, I
say
don't
for
need it.
certainty
Just-
we've had veterans in the
But you
facility.
have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we work with a veterans official. I want to say, and I hope I get it right, his name's James Hart. He comes in from the VA, and he is able to link inmates up to services upon discharge.
And would any of those veterans have been, from your recollection, homeless?
1 or 2 come to mind, I believe.
Thank you.
Do you have a particular
Yes,
program for them?
yes.
Okay,
I'm working on that.
Okay.
all right. See if you can give her that information.
Okay.
Okay, anybody, Ashley, you got any questions?
No,
You're all set? All right,
Thank you, Commissioner.
thank you, Jason.
don't think. I have a question.
Yes, Ed, we're going to try to limit questions, but go ahead.
I had a question from the internet. They wanted to know what a prohibited act is.
Prohibited Act is governed under the 318B, which is the Controlled Drug Act. It has to do with drug offenses.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Sandy? Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. It has been a good morning, right, so far?
It has.
Good.
To start, I have a quick question.
Sure.
About the minutes, the Omnicare contract.
Mm-hmm.
I put in 6,798. That is the correct number?
That sounds correct, Commissioner. I will go back to my,
Okay.
I'd rather just double check it.
Because that is what you said.
I'm sure,
Different meeting.
I'm sure it is, but, and that's the clinical, the consultation component of that.
Okay. Okay.
But I will
Let me know.
I will let you know, okay? Yes. Census is 103 at the
Great.
in the community. Private pay residents 21. 5 Medicare, 5 pending Medicaid, and 72 Medicaid residents.